What's up everybody, welcome to the channel. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the Vortex Sparc 2, which is the latest edition of their mini red dot sight. Okay, so hope you enjoy the video and thanks for watching. Right, when you first receive the red dot sight, it's going to be in this box and cased in a very static, almost vacuum sealed packaging, which is very nice. The packaging, as you can see here, it comes with some very nice graphics on the front, telling you exactly what you've purchased. This is what it looks like on the front. It tells you that it is a bright red dot. The dot on this particular model, I don't know if they do it in different variants, but the red dot is 2 MOA, so 2 minute of angle. Those for those that don't know, that means in a general way it's the size of the dot. Generally, the bigger the number, the larger the dot. So this is almost the smallest you can get. Okay, this is the side, the rear, and the other side. Okay, you can pause the video if you didn't see that in time. Right, let's open her up. As you open it, you'll realize that everything is packaged very well. You get an instruction manual that is partially folded into the packaging, the box. Okay, in the instruction manual itself, it will include a lint-free wiping cloth, so if you need to clean your lens, you can do so with that. The instruction manual is written and illustrated very well in a very clear manner, with some pictures and stuff, and it will tell you the straightforward way of mounting it and how to sight in and how to operate the red dot sight. Okay, right, let's get into the actual red dot itself. As you can see, the foam or packaging here is cut very well, and all the pieces are actually separate from each other, so you don't actually get the red dot sight bunged into a bag and slammed into a box with all its parts and fitments. It actually has its own compartment for each separate part, which I really like. It helps it keep it really safe and look after your optic basically during transit, so mine turned up perfectly. As you can see in the first slot here, it has the Picatinny mount. Okay, that basically just screws into any Picatinny mount. It has a high riser, so this is the a riser section. So I'm guessing, well, it'll tell you in the instruction manual what co-witness this is. Okay, and also a small spacer there. So with these three, it opens up quite a lot of variations of what height you can set it to. Okay, it also comes with this Allen wrench, Allen key or hex key. It's kind of a star-shaped one. I'm not sure what size that is, but that helps you mount your mounts. Okay, it's for these screws here. In this little pocket here, mine came with 2 batteries. The batteries it uses are the lithium CR2032. It comes with 2 of them. Okay, and then now we get down to the optic itself. Underneath the optic, it actually comes with a bag packaged twice. Okay, so double bagged, and it comes with all the fitment screws needed for whichever mount you're using. So obviously it comes with 2 different sets of screws, which is very nice. So as you can see, it comes with everything you need out of the box. It comes with everything you see here basically. I'll just move these out of the way. And this is the optic itself. Right, I'll give you a good view of the sides, the back, the other side, the front, and the top. Okay, and I'll also show you the bottom. Right, as you can see, it comes with both of these flip-up caps, which flip up and feel very solid. Now, I have purchased many different scopes and red dots before, and on the cheaper models, these the reflex spring or whatever you call it on the inside normally breaks after a few uses. This feels very solid, but we'll keep testing it, and if anything breaks or if anything happens, we will leave a comment in the description and the comment section just to say what has broken and what has I don't know, the state of the actual red dot, if anything happens. That is, if you are watching this video in the future, in the couple of years time, and no comments have been left, then this optic will have been held up. Will be holding up very fine. Okay, as you can see, the graphics there, or the logo, are lasered into the actual body there. Okay, now I'm told this coating is hard anodized. Okay, and as you can see on the side there, there's a little bit of reflection. I guess that's some kind of sealing glue that they use to seal this switch section on here. Okay. Right, and as you can see, the only functioning buttons on here is the up and the down key. Now the up key acts as an on button, so when you push it, it will turn on. And to turn it off, you just hold down the up key for 5 seconds and that will turn it off. This is the adjustment for the elevation. Each knob is held on very tightly with these, I think it's a steel cable, and they are sealed using some form of looks like shrink wrap. Okay, now these are on very tight, and with the cable kind of conflicting with it, it's sometimes quite hard to unscrew, but you need to just push the cable to the side and unscrew it. Okay, adjustments are done using either a small screwdriver, or you can turn this around and put it on there like so, put the cap on in reverse, and then just use it to make adjustments. Now adjustments are very, very clicky. Okay, can you hear that? Yeah, they make good clicks, good solid clicks, and there's a lot of tactile feedback, which is good. There's quite an aggressive knurling on these caps, which is very good. It should help you if you are using this in the wet, or if you have gloves on. Okay. Okay, we're now going to have a look at the battery compartment of this red dot sight. If I take off this section here, I don't know if you guys noticed, but as I took off the turret covers just a minute ago, there was an O-ring, okay, a black O-ring in the bottom there. What that does is create an airtight or watertight seal, and keeps the unit safe from moisture and water. Okay, right. As I take this cover off, you can see the CR2032. Now if you look very closely, you can see that the battery is housed in the center of the battery compartment, and it doesn't actually touch the sides. And now if you look very closely, what you can see is the battery contact on this side and on this side here. Now the reason it has a double spring-loaded contact is in part to do with recoil mitigation. Obviously, when you mount this on a firearm and you are shooting, the recoil, depending on what firearm you have, may be so great that the battery can move backwards and forwards, and sometimes lose contact with the actual battery contact there. Now, as you can see, it's got it double clamped on both sides, which basically means whichever orientation the battery may or may not move to, it will always be in contact, okay, with the so the battery will not disengage and accidentally turn your sight off. So that's a very good design. I'm very happy with that. And as you can see, as I said, the O-ring there on this cap cover section here, okay, that helps with moisture and keeping water out, basically. Okay, I'm now going to take the covers off and give you a basic view of what you can see through the actual sight. Okay, I'll take that off, and that one there. And as you can see, the sight picture is pretty clear. Okay, on certain sights, some of the cheaper red dots with coated lens, sometimes it darkens the picture a lot, which means if you are engaging in a dark environment, that may hinder your view a little bit. But this one is very good. It only darkens your sight picture very, very slightly. Also, one of the things that I noticed that I would like to draw your attention to is the actual LED light-emitting diode there. Okay, as you can see, it is caked in a black form of epoxy. It may be epoxy, that's what I'm guessing it is. And what that does is it's basically potting the LED into the housing of the body. And what that does is create a recoil safe, shock absorbing solid unit. So no matter what happens, you see, when you normally mount electronics onto certain devices, enough shock and enough trauma can sometimes destroy the electronics or loosen them over time. If you pop them or if you seal them in a hard plastic, then they can withstand a lot more and generally not break ever. Okay, they'd be completely shock absorbing. It's like the difference between dropping loose fitting objects inside a bucket to a bucket that is absolutely sealed in plastic with objects inside it. Obviously, if it's completely sealed or potted, it's going to hold up to a lot more abuse. Okay, so I'm very happy about that. And also looking at the front here, you can see that the lens is coated in a red orangey reflective type coating. So I'm guessing it has a few different coatings on there. Now one of the things I did notice about this sight is where the sleeve here is so long. Normally it's longer than normal red dot units that I'm used to, and what I've noticed that helps with is sunlight reflection mitigation. Okay, so it acts as a sun shield. If you really, I have a light about here, and in order to get the reflection of it to the front side picture, you actually have to point right at to it. You've got to basically look at the sun before, point this directly at the sun before it gets a reflection of the sunlight off there, which is a very good thing because of the shield there. And I actually tested this out in daylight as well, which I noticed it did help a lot with that. This acts kind of as a mini sun shield. I don't know if that's the purpose of the design or what, but it is, and I'm happy about that. Okay, right, the brightness of the dot is excellent. It actually it has 10 brightness settings, if I remember correctly. 8 of them are very dim to very bright. On the dimmest setting, it's very good for night use or just after sundown, or the brightest setting is very good for sunlight. When it's a very bright sunny day, you can actually still see the red dot when you're almost pointing this at the sun. I did try and get some footage of that, but my camera just did not like the sunlight, so I couldn't really do that. So 8 settings from dim to bright, and the final 2 settings, which is just underneath dim, if that makes sense, those 2 settings are night vision settings. I'm guessing one of them is a dim night vision setting, and the other one is a slightly brighter night vision setting, but I haven't tested those. And the other 8 are just dim to bright, as I said. Okay, right, to turn her on, you basically just touch the up button, pushed it once, it should be on. I think you could barely see, and I'm going to go through the brightnesses here. Right, this is the bottom night vision setting, this is the top night vision setting, and then this one is the dimmest. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so that's the brightest setting there, and this setting is actually very visible during bright sunlight. Okay, and then you just hold on to the button there for 5 seconds to turn it off, like so. Regarding battery life, the site is quoted to have a 300-hour battery life on maximum brightness and a 5,000-hour battery life on the minimum brightness, so the lowest setting. That will obviously depend on the temperature and depend on what brand of CR2032 battery you use, as from my testing on other devices, not all CR2032s are created equal. So you can use that as a ballpark hour count, I guess. But it's good that they Vortex includes 2 batteries for you. So as soon as you receive your product, you can literally just go straight to the range and mount her on there and sight her in. I would personally suggest using a form of Loctite on your screws when you are mounting them, just to make sure that they don't come loose or anything like that. But from what I've seen, the design is very, very solid. The materials they use are very good, and the craftsmanship is, in my opinion, unbelievable for the price. Now the sight itself costs around $200, around $200 US, which is, in my opinion, unbelievable what you get in the packaging. You get all the different type of mounts, the covers, flip up covers, okay, 2 batteries, obviously the sight, all the screws and all the tools required to do so, minus the Loctite. Okay, so this is a fantastic optic in my opinion. Also, Vortex offer a unlimited, unconditional lifetime warranty. Not sure if it's international. It may be just a US warranty, United States of America warranty, but there is a Canadian site, I believe. Yes, Vortex also caters for the Canadian market, the last time I read. Okay, so breaking it down, how do I feel about this site, and do I recommend this site? I highly recommend this site. If anyone's thinking, shall I buy this site or shall I buy what? I'm going to tell you generally what the options are. Now, if you are considering this site, you've probably considered all the other options, which is basically you can buy a fake or replica China-made red dot sight, which will look like a very expensive red dot sight, have the same name brand on it, only it's made differently and costs probably 1/100th of the price of the original. The problem with those optics is it depends on your purpose, basically. If you're just going for, you want that look, you want a red dot that can hold 0, probably on a .22 or an AIRSOFT gun, then that's fine. The only problem is I personally have been through quite a few different China branded, China made, should I say, optics, and found quite a lot of them to be either faulty, not hold 0, too dark, too bright, or have a lot of ghosting. Now, these are some of the problems you're going to have to address yourself. Basically, if you get that, you're not going to have any refund or anything. You're just you're out of the money that you spent for the optic. Now, you could go for another one or buy a few more, and hopefully you get a good one. But there's no telling what will come off the red dot sight. It may actually break. It may be good for 100 rounds and then break, or it may just not work from the start. So that's one of the things that you have to deal with. Now, the other option on the other side of the spectrum, talking about a lot of money here, you can spend hundreds and hundreds of US dollars and get probably the best red dot sight. I don't know, an Aimpoint T1 or even an Aimpoint H1, which is slightly cheaper. I believe it's the T1 without the night vision settings, but I'm not too sure. You can shell out for one of them, and obviously this will definitely depend on what you are using it for. Are you military? Are you, I don't know, law enforcement? Or are you just an airsoft collector that wants the absolute best, you know, the real steel everything on this gun? So in that case, if you have the money, yeah, go for it, you know. But if you're thinking, I don't want the cheap China brand and I don't want to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars, I want something in between, this is it. This is the red dot sight that holds 0 under a lot of recoil. It has been tested by not only Vortex, obviously, but also by different members of the public who have probably done their own video on YouTube, which you can check out. But it does hold 0. It is easy to sight in, good adjustment clicks, lots of accessories in the box, and a very, very solid platform for a red dot sight, basically. And at $200 US, it's unbelievable. In fact, it's phenomenal. You can buy China-made fake red dot sights, which cost probably 70 to 80 US dollars, and which is half the price of this, obviously. But the problem with those is there's no guarantee. It's probably not even going to work. Some of them aren't even going to work. Some of them work fantastically, but you know, for 200 US dollars. It's phenomenal. I really couldn't believe what I was getting for that price. Okay, I probably didn't give you a view of it on this tall mount. I'll just give you a quick side view there, a quick front view, and a quick rear view. Okay, but yeah, it's a fantastic red dot sight. You know, I highly recommend these. I think it's well worth the money. If you are thinking about using this, I don't know, on your rifle or shotgun or whatever platform you have for your home defense gun, it's probably a good investment, because obviously you're only going to be using it for home defense, which means if you buy, let's say, I'm just going to throw this out there, let's say you buy an Aimpoint T1 and put it on your home defense shotgun or home defense whatever it is you have, that's a lot of money sitting on your rifle. It's definitely going to work when you need it, which is hopefully never, but let's say one day that you need it, it's going to work that one time. But that's I don't know how much they cost, but that's however many hundreds of dollars you spend on that sight waiting for that one situation that you need it. And that sight was built to withstand constant recoil, abuse, being dropped, taking dirt, being drowned, being thrown, being kicked. You know, it's a brilliant optic. For probably best purpose for it would be for military deployment, but you know, you have the best of the best. Now there are people in the industry or in you know, have interest in red dot sights that are thinking it's a little bit overkill for what I need it for. In that case, this is probably your next best option, you know, looking at price wise. Okay, you've got this red dot sight here that does about the same job. You know, it can. I wouldn't like to even guess. Is this more robust than an Aimpoint T1? Probably not. But then again, are you going to take it out and run it through its tracks, and then you know, partially destroy it? If so, then no. Then this probably isn't the best sight for you. You probably do need an Aimpoint T1. But there are people that don't do that, but they still want the accuracy, the adjustment, you know, the reliable electronics. This sight is probably for you. 200 US dollars, unbelievable. What you're getting out of the box, the warranty and everything, the engineering, the precision of machining, everything. This is a fantastic sight. And for the other guys, you airsoft guys, that are thinking, I need a red dot sight, you know, but I hardly look down my sight. This is probably not for you guys. Okay, this is a very accurate, holds zero, does its best thing. It's probably best for guys who actually use their optics for aiming and I don't know, run gas blowback rifles, because I know from my own personal experience that gas blowback rifles, especially when you up the okay, bear with me, real steel guys. The recoil, yes, I know it's an airsoft gun, it's a gas blowback, and I'm talking about recoil, yes, or the shaking, or whatever you want to put it. I'm just going to call it recoil for the sake of the fact that it is recoil. This will hold up, and it will hold zero. Okay, so that's just my take on it. You know, if you run a gas blowback rifle and you've been let down by the red dot sight so far, because I have taken quite a few of them apart, the China-made ones, the cheap ones, and seen that the way that they adjust their red dot or the light-emitting diode is basically just a screw that loosely screws into the side, pushing a certain part over, which makes the red dot sit in a different situation, and that screw is incredibly loose and the tolerances are terrible. That's why sometimes it does not hold zero. So this definitely will hold zero, and it will, you know, it's parallax free. I believe at a certain distance, from what I've seen so far, it's parallax free altogether. So this is probably the best for the price. for you guys. Okay, all the other guys that run AEGs and stuff, you're probably better off with just a replica China-made aimpoint C1, and this is probably a bit overkill for you guys since AEGs don't have any recoil. Okay, but that's my take on it. You know, it has been a fantastic optic. I've been really happy with it so far. It has held zero on gas blowback rifles of different kinds that I've tested it on, and I'm very happy with the money I have spent. It's fantastic. You know, I think well, I don't want to say if it was more expensive will I buy it, because then prices will probably go up, but it's brilliantly priced. It's fantastic. And for those of you guys who are watching this video and thinking or are considering this optic, there's nothing to think about. Get it. Literally, just go out there and get it, or just order it right now. It's fantastic. Okay, bit of a long video for a red dot sight, but thank you very much for watching. Hope this helps someone out there, and you know, take care.